Let's notice tonight what mind we need to have, or whose mindset we need to have. Notice Philippians, the 2nd chapter, and look at verse number 5. He said, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Notice Paul said, let or allow, permit it to be so. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. So as saints, as church folk, the mind that we want is the mind of Jesus, or the mind of Christ. Do everybody see that tonight? So based upon that, look at a neighbor and tell your neighbor the subject tonight, possessing the same mind. And when it comes to possessing the same mind, understand when it comes to some of us, we need to come into this. We need to come on into this, because whether that be in an auxiliary, or whether that be in a home, or whether that be in the church in reference to just brothers and sisters, we all don't possess the same mind. And so we need to come into that, because that's God's desire. His desire is that we possess the same mind, right? Because according to Paul in 1 Corinthians 1 and 10, if we do so, it then allow us to speak the same what? Thing. See, it's powerful when people possess the same mind, in this sense that when you possess the same mind, it's easier to handle problems. See, if two people are possessing the same mind, when it comes time to handle problems or difficulty, it's going to be easier because you think alike. It's going to be easier because you talk alike, right? Now, remember what I said Sunday. That's going to be important, because I'm not going to backtrack. I'm not talking in totality when you're dealing with everything, but that's just the things that pertain to God are the things that are important. When it comes to important matters, we need to speak the same what? We need to speak the same what? We don't need to be trying to be together, but when it comes to something important, we speak differently. You speak your way and I speak my way. No, we can't have that when it comes to something important, right? And so notice tonight, when it comes to possessing the same mind, that is, in my opinion, the key to speaking the same thing. Because there's no way you can speak the same thing and then you got different minds. Some of y'all not saying anything. We're going to let the word have its way. See, when you get to dealing with problems, it just can't be your way. It just can't be what you think. Come on, can't just be how you were raised. You know, some folk, they try to deal with every problem based upon how they were raised. And if they feel like, well, it worked right in my house growing up. But see, you can't kill all that. You know what I'm saying? It may have seemingly worked right in your house because you had a person that didn't talk much and would allow people to dominate them and run over them. So it seemed like it was working right, but it really wasn't, because a whole lot of stuff never got dealt with. Folk just swept it under the rug because you had one person that was dogmatic and another person that was non-confrontational. And so they wouldn't say anything, and you sitting there looking and you thinking, well, it worked. No, it didn't work. It didn't work. And that's how it is in some of our houses. You got some folk talk too much, and you got some don't talk enough. They don't speak up enough, right? When we get together and we talk, it's going to be evident that, hey, man, me and you possessing the same mind, right? If Brother James got the mind of Christ and Brother Rodney got the mind of Christ, they going to possess the same what? Mind. And even though they don't talk every day, when they do talk, it's going to be evident that they both operating with the same mind, right? In ministry, if you in a certain auxiliary, and if your leader got the mind of Christ, and if you got the mind of Christ, no matter what problems arise in that auxiliary, y'all gonna be able to work through it and get better, because you both possess the same what? Mind. If a man got the mind of Christ and his wife got the mind of Christ, tell me something that they can't get through. Tell me a problem that they can't make it through. They can make it through things that normal couples would die in the midst of it. They'll get better. Why? Operating with the same mind. Understand this. Sometimes when it comes to maintaining something, it can seem more difficult to maintain a thing than it was to actually get it. How many have ever found that out? How many have ever reached a goal, but you found out that, yeah, it seemed easier to get here than it is to stay here? Because when you reach a certain level, You have new devils and new demons that are attacking you based upon the new place or the new goal that you've reached. The thief will and what? Destroy. But once the thief recognizes you on one accord, his assignment or his agenda may change in order to defeat you. He may not come at you like he did last year when you were partially divided the whole year anyhow. But if he recognizes, they getting together, now he's going to come with reinforcement. That's so important right there. To recognize that sometimes to maintain something, man, it takes something. You know, and this is what happened with a lot of folk when they reach a certain goal or they reach a certain plateau. A lot of people get at ease and think it's over. No, it ain't over. You better show enough get ready to fight now. Get ready to war now, right? Because when it comes to the devil and demons, when as far as the church is concerned, when we unite, that upset our enemy. Right? Because at the end of the day, we ought to know, even as a church family, that there are those on the outside who would wish for us to be divided. And that's never going to change. Sadly, there are some on the inside who desire us to be divided, even though they are part of it. Right? But this is my opinion. It don't matter what my enemy doing more so than it does what I'm doing. Folk gonna hate on you. Folk gonna seek to see you come down, especially when God has elevated you. I don't so much worry about what folks saying. I worry about what's coming out of my mouth and what other folk are saying to whom I'm trying to be connected with. See, it matters what we doing. If you get destroyed, it won't just be because of what somebody else said, but it's also going to be with what you were saying. When it comes to some of us, there are problems and things that need to be put away for us to come into having the same mind. Some of us, things need to be put away so that we can maintain having the same mind. Note this, as I always teach y'all, God is the only one that don't need to change. And look at somebody real quick and just tell him, you ain't God. Now look right back at that same person and tell him, say, that means you will change. How many realize that? But you got to change for the what? Better.